In the MMPR days, Zordon gave out explicit rules to everyone that became a Power Ranger. He's really the only mentor who's done this. It's possible that in the past people have caused problems all over the place where he was forced to create these rules. Maybe he didn't trust humans much. It could be why he picks teenagers. They're still young, where he can guide them in a better direction rather than having adults who already chosen their path. Rules don't come out of nowhere. Even till today, these 3 rules are still loosely followed by each new team. It's an unspoken code basically. But what would MMPR or PR in general be like if they didn't have them? I can argue both sides. There's ways that these rules get in the way where you could stop the villains faster, but there's ways that exploiting these powers can go horribly wrong. A quick reminder on Zordon's rules. Never use your power for personal gain, never escalate a battle unless Rita forces you, always keep your identity a secret, no one may know that you are a Power Ranger. So I want to look at each rule, see how it would benefit the Rangers breaking them, then the ways it can hurt the Rangers and the world around them. Thanks goes to Team Siblings for the suggestion. If you have an idea or topic you'd like me to cover, leave a comment below. I might use it in a future video.
Disobey Rule 1.
Personal gain covers a broad area, not just the user, but their family and friends. Breaking this rule can be good or bad. In the PR comic, Billy took off his helmet, gloves, and boots, so he was still counted as morphed. But you couldn't see it. If he wanted to, Billy could play on a sports team and win, become like the greatest football player ever, making millions upon millions of dollars. This can go in either direction. The money he makes can be used for the command center. Think Mr. Hartford. He can start policing the planet with his own ideas or drop being a ranger. With the teleported tech, a ranger can get in and out of any place. You can act as a bounty hunter, taking in criminals or taking them out. Rob banks with very little worry. You're masked, bulletproof, and can disappear. If you didn't want to get caught or seem bad, a ranger could break into a lottery system and rig it, build money that way. You can cheat in school by getting the answer sheet. That would be very tempting for someone being constantly called to save the world. That's some of the negatives. Here's some positives. You're strapped for cash. The only places you can get work are physically demanding or dangerous with chemicals. As long as the suit is out of sight, you can do them. You'll get average pay and not stick out like a sore thumb. A simpler use, never be late to work. You've overslept, who cares? Just teleport to your job. Late for school? No, you're not. The biggest advantage is access to alien tech. You can go to any planet, using your ranger status, getting people to help you in various ways. Your mother has cancer, you can get that cured. Look at Beast Morphers, they're tapping the morphing grid. It has its goods and bads.
Obeying Rule 1.
The biggest reason why Zordon created these rules must be the temptations. You can be the nicest guy in the universe, but there are times when some things can go wrong that you would want to fix. But once you open that door, you're not going to close it. Think about what the MMPR Rangers dealt with after the Doomsday finale. Just that one major monster fight. They saved the world, stopped Loki and Goldar, finished their public appearance, but the world doesn't stop. It would be tempting to use your powers for the smallest of things, like getting to class on time. These rules exist for these moments, so when you see Tommy late because of whatever, he's not using his abilities, he's following Zordon's rules to the letter. The hardest thing would be seeing a family member die. You potentially have the power to stop it, but if you do, what happens if people start asking questions that lead in their direction you don't want them to go in? It could backfire and lead people right back to the command center, compromising everything that Zordon's built. There's no good either way. The best course of action is to let everything unfold. That's why Zordon chooses them.
Disobey Rule 2.
Rule 2 pertains to the Rangers mainly, so what if they didn't follow this one? Well, for one thing, it would clear up some plot holes people like to give the show. Rita sends out a monster, the Rangers respond, monster blows up, Rita makes it grow, Rangers call the Megazord, rinse, and repeat. Why not skip this? Go directly to the Megazord and squish the monster. It'd be easy enough. You'd have the advantage. Another issue is that the Rangers are always on the defensive. They're on Earth every day waiting for Rita to do something. In this downtime, they could be building stuff of their own, maybe a robot army of Rangers. Billy could retrofit the Megazord so it can go into space, attack the palace directly. Rita's way of making monsters is a time that she is vulnerable. Finster has to design, then use the Monstermatic to create them. If the Rangers can reach the palace, kill Finster, or destroy the machine, she have no way of creating anymore. Rita does have magic, but it's not powerful enough to take on the Rangers directly. It's more of a tool to create the other materials.
Obeying Rule 2.
Why I think this rule exists is for a few reasons. One, if the Rangers just start attacking with the Megazord, Rita's just gonna make the monsters big right at the start. This just means the entire city is under attack all the time. It'd basically be Evangelion every day. This city wouldn't survive. This limits that. If Billy started making robot rangers, better weapons, these things can get out of hand. It's only the 8 of them. Maybe Zordon doesn't have the ability to even do this. I would guess that there's no way they have unlimited resources. Alpha has to build stuff from cannibalizing their tech with Earth stuff. You can see that in the command center. It's made up of a lot of random things. Zordon took the powers of the Rangers from someone else. He didn't originally make them. Attacking Rita's palace? We don't know the extent of her army. Putties could be already made and placed everywhere in the lair. We've never seen past 4 main areas: Fisher's workshop, the palace balcony, and Zed's chamber, with one moment in Rita's room. Everything below that floor can be filled with putties or even magic enchantments. So if the Rangers did attempt a takeover of the base, they might lose. Zordon's not stupid. He knows not to jump into action without any concrete information. Rita and Goldar aren't dumb either. Characters screw up and things go wrong with them all the time, but they can be a serious threat. That's the reason they're on the moon.
Disobeying Rule 3.
As a Power Ranger, most teams keep their identities a secret. What if you didn't care? It can improve or make situations worse. You were saving the world, being late and yelled at in school got tiring. It's never your fault. You're like, shut up, I've saved the world. Revealing yourself would give you the opportunity to lessen this problem. People would respect you more, give you breaks. You can financially capitalize on this. We all remember Joel, but it would also devolve into other issues. You would be bothered more often, even for small things like saving a cat in a tree. You might be worshipped as a god. Superman ran into that problem many times. Police would probably go after you as a vigilante. Hello, Spider-Man. You're endangering family, friends, and any place you go. They might cut you off or they'll get kidnapped all the time. Some punks would probably want to fight you every day. You get sued a lot. You're in the Megazord fighting a monster. They're gonna blame you if their house is destroyed. They'll curse you for being bad at your job. Fantastic Four gets that. You are now a public figure, head of the world. Sooner or later, people will follow you to the command center. Everything can fall apart fast. Imagine how many companies would be knocking on Billy's door with offers to run a company. All he had to do was sell out, reverse engineer the powers. This stuff ending up on the black markets happens to Iron Man all the time. To bring up Lightspeed again, they're the big ones that didn't hide their identities. The reason why that works best, it's a military organization. Once the Rangers were picked, they were most likely publicly protected. Everything they need is most likely gotten for them. They stay near bases most of the time, so they don't interact much beyond those moments on the field. I also bet the company has proxies to defend the Rangers from the news, so they don't get most of the flack. With other teams, this is not an option.
Obeying Rule 3.
Depending on the person and how they deal with their actions, breaking these rules can help in lots of positive ways. The thing is, every good has a chance to go bad, no matter how altruistic you are. Every superhero has dealt with this. Doesn't matter if you're rich or magical. That's why I get mad at Bruce Wayne on a ton of decisions. He's cold and has no emotions, but that's because he's done the good thing before, all for it to go bad. Over the years, he followed his rules, basically never breaking them. Then you have the side of the Ranger just going evil. Power corrupts. Many heroes go through this, even with intentions of survivability, like what if a Ranger just gave up and handed their morpher to the villain just to save their behind? You're screwing the team. Looking back at when Goldar took the Rangers' parents captive, Zordon didn't give them an answer. He let them choose what to do, but they did break Rule 1 when they handed over the power coins. If it weren't for Tommy, the world would have been Rita's. Thinking up all the ways all this can go wrong, you can cut some slack out of the plot holes in certain areas, or at least give it context before you give that complaint blindly. I would love to see the show tackle these. It'd be something new if it was done for a character arc. This is what they could have given Justin. He could have ignored rules and did something where it led to him royally screwing up, causing the need to pass the torch. Would you break Zordon's rules? Would you exploit the powers for monetary gain? Or would you keep them to heart and never break them? I'm pretty sure if I knew someone was dying, I'd save them ignoring the first rule. New episodes Mondays, fan commentaries Tuesdays. Next week, my top 10 episodes from the Saban era. I'm including mmpr through Wild Horse, so one from each season. If you like my content, consider subscribing and leaving a like. Sorry about not including stills in the video. Due to past fair use abuses from the various companies involved, I no longer feature them. Thank you for understanding. See you in the next video.